The Midwest braces for a brutal winter, and with race cars going into garages for the season, GRIDLIFE and the iRacing community head down under on a Tuesday night to Mount Panorama Circuit in Bathurst, Australia. Things might be upside down, the toilets swirl the other direction, and the driver sits on the wrong side of the car, but it's all in the name of fun for this GRIDLIFE iRacers Tuesday Fun Run. Hi everybody, Kyle Heyer joined by Sean Fenton tonight for something a little bit different, something kind of casual. Radical SR8s at Bathurst. Sean, welcome aboard. You lived in Australia for a little while, so this has got to feel like a bit of a homecoming for you.
Very familiar, and you nailed it in the intro. I mean, the backwards toilets and the upside downness, it's just everyday life in Australia.
Is that true that the toilets actually go the other direction?
Yeah.
Okay. I just
anything draining wood, yeah.
Okay. I wasn't actually sure if that was real or not, or if that was just a tall tale, but toilets go the other direction. They drive on the wrong side of the car. Whatever, we're heading into qualifying here. We got about 10 minutes for drivers to set their fastest lap time. Then we'll do some heat racing to set our grid for our main 20-minute feature race. Lots of names you're familiar with here in the series. Lots of drivers from Time Attack and GRIDLIFE Touring Cup. Good to see a couple newcomers here that have joined us in iRacing this time around. How about Eric Jensen? Typically runs in GRIDLIFE Touring Cup and an LS Swap Scion FRS, Sean. Bit of a darty radical tonight. This will be a change of pace for him.
What I would thought a race car looked like when I didn't know about race cars.
They're super cool. These Radicals are about 1,500 pounds, which is about a third of your average SUV. It has about 430 to 500 horsepower. Incredibly quick, nimble little cars. But Jensen is joining us tonight, as is Ryan Upham. We've got him here tonight. Alex Arteyet is running with us. He's a time attacker from the street GT category. Drew Cleaver is with us as well, and a handful of others that you've seen before, DJ Alessandrini, Austin Cobb, and a whole bunch more. So, Sean, Mount Panorama in Bathurst, Australia, looking from high above. This is the far end of the racetrack. A couple 90-degree turns, but then it leads you up to the mountain and to the skyline and then down the hill. There's several stories, several hundred feet of elevation here. This is a pretty wild racetrack.
Legendary.
So you lived in Melbourne for a little while. So this is just outside of Sydney. I think we looked on the map, Sean. So this is kind of out in the sticks a little bit, but it's a pretty cool racetrack. Most of the year, it's actually just public roads. You can actually just drive up and down this mountain as if it were a normal street.
Yeah, I made it to this area, but I've never been to this track. But I've been up in the Blue Mountains outside of Sydney, and it really is a beautiful place to be. They just get to celebrate the best weather in the world. I think they would like more water, but other than that, this is what it's all about.
Absolutely. And, of course, we've got Black Friday, a big sale coming up on Friday. It starts on Friday at midnight Central Time, and there's a fun new way to get some percentage off of your next order. You can head to shop.grid.life and spin the wheel. You can do it. I'm going to do it right now. Let's enter my name. We're going to enter my email, and we're going to spin to win. And let's see what we get.
Like Lotto, you gotta be in it to win.
Oh, my wheel flew off. I disappointed Adam Jabay. gotta get those lug nuts bolted on there, Sean.
So if I understand correctly, all the red bits are Adam Jabay bummers, and the yellow bits are the Adam Jabay yippies.
Yeah, I think so. So all the red stuff is the stuff that Adam is sad about and cries about, and then the yellow stuff is all the stuff that Adam will give you a high five for. So really cool spin the wheel here. You can see we've got some stuff up here already, but we've got all sorts of new stuff coming on Friday in a Black Friday sale. New calendar that is also up just now, a 13-month calendar, $15 for that, so collect that while you can. It's a limited time only.
We did 12 months last time. We thought, let's do one more month, make it 1 month better.
And if you buy it tonight, because we're running the Bathurst special, it actually comes printed upside down. So you can hang it upside down, and if you live in Australia, it'll be right side up, and you won't get lost throughout the year.
Ta for that.
Yeah, so it is really a cool thing. There's all sorts of photography from the season of 2021 heading into the new year, so all sorts of really cool stuff. Nice duffel bag. I got to pick one of those up. And I did not see this, but this is cool. Look at that rainbow jogger there, Sean. I don't do much jogging, but that's pretty cool.
Well, you get that, and you just can't help it.
You can't help it. It's too colorful not to. All sorts of cool stuff. Check it out, shop.grid.life. Black Friday sale this Friday at midnight Central
Thursday
time.
night, technically Friday.
Yes. Thursday night into Friday. That is when things all kick off. So qualifying underway here. Austin Cobb, currently the quickest of the drivers out there, a 158.79. To put this in perspective, that is a faster lap time than the fastest time ever set by a V8 supercar around here, which is the car traditionally associated with this racetrack. So they are not going slow. And we take a minute to just ride on board here with Austin Cobb, heading down the hill. Here's what the downhill portion looks like here, Sean.
That is intense.
Concrete on either side, and weaving your way down through, and then some nice Falcon branding on the walls here. And make the left.
I think you're right that if I was going to travel anywhere for a race, this would definitely be like top 3 to see V8 supercars here.
Absolutely. Or the 12 Hours of Bathurst, which is a GT3 endurance race that happens here every year. So that'd be a really cool one. This is Skyline at the top of the hill, and you can see just off the side of the concrete there's basically nothing. And here's a look at the mountain. That's the pit straight on the bottom right. There's the mountain up top. Right above those Mount Panorama lettering, that is where you are driving right before you head down the hill. It's a pretty wild lap. Lots of rocks and concrete, and these cars are also pretty fragile, so if you find yourself, nipping the wall, you're going to have a bad time. Tonight, the password that DJ set up, the password DJ set up was gnarly for this track and car combination tonight, so this is going to be a lot of fun. There's some of the uphill section. They call that the cutting, and then you head up through McPhillamy Park and then down the hill the other side. It is a really wild racetrack, about 6 kilometers long, so it's not a short track by any stretch, just about 2 minutes in a Radical. We've got, again, as we mentioned, 40 drivers about to start this, and Sean, I'm going to be honest, I'm not sure that we're going to have 40 drivers finish the first lap. You were also looking for some Aussie beer, which apparently is not easy to find in Chicago, at least not where you were looking.
Yeah, I thought I'd get in the mood a bit and find myself a Foster's, which, yes, in Australian, they'll tell you that they brew that for Americans, but I couldn't find any. I found some regular Chicago beer. I'll just drink it upside down.
Drink it upside down. There you go. Tom O'Gorman's in the chat. Jabummers, he called them. The red on the wheel.
That's what they are.
Jabummers. I love them. Got reminded to torque those wheels by Rage and Croc. Yeah, I actually had that happen to me in the FRS. I did not torque my wheels down properly and almost had one fly off. So I got a torque wrench the next day. It was a bad time. Qualifying finishing up here. We got about 35 seconds left before our first heat race. Ito Waxman goes for a loop, and we're going to see a lot more of that, Sean. Don't you worry.
First Mild. Now that's an Australian beer I could have found.
Yeah, I got to get myself an Australian beer. I feel like with the stereotype that everything's trying to kill you, I feel like the beer would probably be pretty intense.
The difference with beer there is if you get a light beer in America, it means it's lighter in calories. If you get a light beer in Australia, it means it's lower in alcohol content.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, Australia's one of those places like I've never thought I could go because it's so far away, it feels like. What's that flight like from like LA to Australia? Is it like 10 hours, 12 hours?
I believe LA or San Francisco, it's about 15 hours,
Oof.
13 to 15, depending which one you left from.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
To Sydney, I think 13. To Melbourne, it'd be 15.
All right, so we've got our qualifying race number 1 up on the left-hand side of your screen. Those are your starters. We're going to have 20 drivers in this heat race. And as always, the top 15 are the ones that are going to transfer. So you can see on your screen right now on the right, everyone from 15th up will automatically get into the feature race. Now, we don't have enough drivers to actually cut anybody from our main race. The difference here, Sean, is that we're just going to set our grid with these races. So these are basically qualifiers. Everyone from 15th on, or 16th on back, rather, will have to just set their actual qualifying position in the last chance qualifiers. So quick brief on, actually, I'm not sure we're going to have time to do this because we're going to go green here in just a second. But all you need to know, 15 drivers in this race will head straight to the feature. The bottom 5 will have to duke it out a little bit later to set their starting lineup for the main 20-minute race. This is a 10-minute race. We're going to have 2 of these, and then we'll have a third 10-minute race for the bottom finishers from these races, and it'll all be clear in a little while, but first we're going to have to go up and down the mountain about 5 times to sort this group out. So, 20 drivers. And a couple new guys. Ryan Upham from GLTC fame is in the back row in 19th place. Now, he was nervous about entering tonight, Sean, and it's so funny to me that drivers on the racetrack will be so confident, and then you put them in a sim environment that they're new to, and all of a sudden they're nervous.
I don't know how to really understand that. I would way way more likely get into an iRacing car than crash this real car.
Lots of reset buttons here in iRacing, but not tonight. Here we go. Green flag flies. We're racing in the Tuesday Fun Run, the Radical SR8s at Bathurst. And a good start by the drivers up front. A couple drivers spinning the tires in the background. Austin Cobb's the first one to turn number 1. They call this Hell Corner here, Sean. And now the run up towards Forest Elbow. There's cars off in the background. Josh LePetri gets through. A couple others get through as well. I'm trying to see who is spun off. Val DiPietro is one of the drivers off. Got a GRIDLIFE livery on that car, and yeet indeed he did.
Canadian.
So up towards Forest Elbow, Austin Cobb is the first one to it. There's some side-by-side. Ryan Kristoff in the number 35 car just ahead of them. And there's David Schwartz, Eric Dalla Riva fighting for position. And everyone's being very tentative and careful up this mountain. It can bite you very quickly.
Liveries make me hungry.
So, fun story about the Taco Bell livery. There was one time I was streaming a race with my old college roommate, and we saw Taco Bell on one of the cars, and we were so in love with the livery that we actually went and got Taco Bell after. So advertising works even in the sim racing world. Down the hill now, threading the needle through the concrete. Everyone being very cautious. Dalla Riva on board with him now. Looking out the tailpipes, there's Alex Arteat. Now we'll ride on board with Arteat as he chases Dalla Riva into the Falcon corner.
Series of turns is insane to me. Like the threading of the needle, what's actually the race line and is concrete is so small.
And the concrete has no feelings for you. If you hit it, it's game over. Eric Jensen got a piece of it a minute ago. You can see the damage on the front right corner of that car. And Garrett Taylor also has some damage, so they've had a bit of a coming together down the mountain, but that's going to happen quite a bit. Now the battle towards the corner they call the chase. Here's a look from the ground. By at 150 miles an hour into the braking zone. New driver here, Angel Ledesma, who has joined us for the first time tonight. And pulling off into pit lane, potentially a penalty for Angel. As we head back to Josh LePetri, and I guess that's Robert Pendergast right behind. Lap 1 complete. We actually had everybody finish the first lap, albeit with some damage for a couple of those drivers.
That's a question. If he went into the pit lane, is that automatic, or did he choose to?
Chose to go down there, and I would bet that it is just for a penalty or to fix that damage you see on the right front bumper. And that would be my guess, just based on being in the pit lane. And out will Angel go. So down at 18th place. And look at this battle here. Drew Cleaver on the inside of Darian Taggart. This is the climb up into the cutting. And as you mentioned, there's just so little room for error here, Sean. And the second you make a mistake, the mountain will bite you. And it won't let go. These concrete walls, you start ping-ponging off of them left and right. So you have to get it right the first time. No second chances at this place.
I'm scared without a roof over my head in these cars.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They got roll bars to either side, but not much of a windshield or roof. Or you could consider the roof is on the floor of the car because we're upside down here in Australia, so maybe that's how that works.
A series of turns, it makes it look easy to put it that way.
Oh, there's a lockup from, I think that was Alex Arteat. Let's have a quick look at Alex coming down the mountain here towards the last corner here on the mountain section. You see the lockup, the smoke trailing from the car, and actually did a really good job of staying off the wall. But that could have been a lot worse there, Sean.
Yeah, he really handled it well, and you see how close he got to the wall coming out of that turn. Just made it through.
This is a track that would make Adam Jabay very nervous, I'm sure, to have a GRIDLIFE field on it.
Gosh. The walls are just the beginning. You got spiders and snakes and all kinds of stuff.
That would be what scares me. I don't think Adam would be very scared of that stuff. But I think the walls and the field of silly geese might get him. There's Austin Cobb, who's leading the race. Marc-Antoine Blaise is second. Then it's Ryan Kristoff in third. Have a look at the livery on this car here, Sean.
I love it.
Very classic looking.
Mm-hmm. Classic. Classic. Legend.
Got a Ferrari badge on the nose of it. Obviously, it's not a Ferrari, but running a classic livery on this machine. And he's kind of into that classic vibe, right? His 1980s CRX that he's got in GLTC just kind of screams classic race car.
It certainly finds itself in the focus of a lot of photographers, and he doesn't have to change it. It just looks good.
It always looks good. And running third right now after starting the race in fourth, so a good climb there. Good battle back here between Eric Jensen and Garrett Taylor. They have had a heck of a battle so far. Look at this. Here's Mike Morhart also in the mix, watching from behind. This is a great scrap here for position.
I take back my comment about Taco Bell making me hungry. The Cheez-It livery is absolutely
that'll do it. The bar is low tonight, huh, Sean? Taco Bell and Cheez-Its?
I told you, if you invite me on, I'm just going to talk about liveries.
Oh boy, Garrett Taylor all over the back of Jensen now at the crest of the hill. Have a look. Garrett Taylor is the last driver that qualifies for the feature as it stands, and he's chasing 2 ahead of him. I'm sure he'd like to be a little bit more. Oh, there's a big slide there.
Thread the needle right through him.
Down the hill now and completes the pass on Eric Jensen. Great shot. Oh, Jensen, big slide. He's going to be in the fence hard.
My whole body flexed during that. I was like, ah!
Here's another look at it here down the hill. And I think Jensen's just locks up the tires there, Sean, and then just nothing he can do about it. Straight into the concrete. Yeah, that'll hurt. Another driver slides into there as well. But Jensen will keep rolling. There's battles for position heating up for 4th place. Here's David Schwartz in the number 100. Eric Dalla in the 74 right behind him. And that, I believe, is the car chasing the Taco Bell car that you were mentioning before.
Ordered. Kyle, you said this track is about 6 miles long?
6 kilometers, just about.
6 kilometers. Okay. Yeah, I find it kind of disorienting. There's such a change in landscape. It's almost like we go to a field, into a canyon, in the mountains. There's so much diversity in this track.
Yeah, it's basically like split into 2 halves, right? You've got the mountain section, the up and the down, and then you've got this very flat, as you mentioned, field section that you carry a lot of speed into, and those are really where your passing opportunities are. You can't really pass anybody on the mountain unless you're crazy, which some of these drivers are, but your opportunity is going to be at the beginning and end of the lap, and this is all just setting up a pass and trying to gain time where you can. Going side by side through here is not really recommended.
For passing hard.
Watching on board Eric Dalla right up against that wall. The curbs here also bite you. They're very tall, very smooth, but tall nonetheless. And you see Eric closing in on the dipper. There it is. The whole left side of the car is going to come off the ground when you go through that corner. And the track just drops away from you. And the same thing here as you accelerate back out. Now this very long section leads into the corner that they call the chase. And that's that left-hander at the far end of the straightaway, but you're carrying so much speed here. 153, 155 for Dalla now, 158, 159. I think he might hit 160. 159 was his top speed there, Sean. Yeah, it's a ton of straightaway. Taco Tuesday on board the David Schwartz car under the rear wing. Cool to see.
At YouTube, it's like Brent Whitehead says the supercars will pass on the mountain.
Yeah,
that is amazing.
Yeah, Brent is right about that. The Australians that run here on a regular basis are pretty wild, and they'll do pretty much anything to make a position. As we get the white flag, so this is the final lap of our first race of the night, and Austin Cobb controls it handily over Marc-Antoine Blaise. He's about 3 seconds back, but that battle for 3rd is heating up. Ryan Kristoff is leading that group. Then it's David Schwartz in the Taco Bell car, Eric Dalla behind. And there's more fighting. James Stacy, Drew Cleaver. Here's Cleaver out for a pass.
Here comes Cleaver.
The inside now to not Forrest Elbow. That's another name for that. I can't remember. There's all sorts of, every corner here is named. They don't really reference them by corner numbers, but too many of them to list off the top of my head.
I was going to say, I don't know how you even know those ones.
I got them wrong earlier. I think I called one. Forrest Elbow is the one with all the Falcon branding on it.
Well, just call it Koala Corner if you can't think of it.
Koala Corner. There you go.
Yeah.
Actually,
Kangaroo, Koala, these all go well with corner.
They've had several race stoppages with kangaroos on the racetrack, and it is absolutely gold on YouTube to watch all that stuff happen. The announcers were commentating them as they were bouncing down the mountain. It's great stuff. I got to send you that link.
Oh. Well, I will say they are about as common as like a white-tailed deer in most of the United States. So it's once you're there for a while, they're not as impressed with kangaroos
I was
as we are.
Shocked to learn how ripped kangaroos can get. They can get muscular and mean-looking. Like they're going to fight you and take your lunch.
Some of those big the red kangaroos, the big males, they get all jacked up when it's that time of year.
All jacked up for Austin Cobb, though. Last corner for race number 1. That was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Cobb gets it done in the first heat race. Here comes Marc-Antoine Blaise for second. Ryan Christoph hangs on to third. Bit of a bobble in that last corner, and trouble behind him. Dalla Riva goes for a spin. That was a little wild coming to last little bit. Yeah. Alex Artea, Chris Levitz, Darian Taggart, James Stacy, Drew Cleaver, the rest of your top 10. And 15th place, here's Angel Ledesma. This is going to be your transfer driver. So everybody from Ledesma forward automatically qualifies for the feature race. And they will set the inside row for our feature in a little while. So Cobb will start first, then Blaise will start third, Christoph in fifth, and so on and so forth. All the odd-numbered positions were what we just qualified for. Okay, race 1 done. That was.
I want to make a pack to go here.
You want to make a what?
A pack to go here.
Oh yes, let's. I think we should have
I want
a
to see
here.
this place. Yeah.
Grid Life on the mountain. I think everyone would vote for that. If we could do one place overseas as a Grid Life event, maybe there might be like a track in England that would also be on the list, but I think Bathurst is like the ultimate party track. And Grid Life's a party, so I think we should party at the party track.
Each of our drivers are from places that get kind of cold in the winter, and I think everyone would agree it's a nice break from winter to go off to somebody's summer.
Yes, I think we should ask the chat what track does Grid Life not go to that we should go to, and it can be international. Just we're not actually going to do that, but maybe someday. List your favorite racetrack that Grid Life should go to that it already doesn't. I think that'd be a fun one to ask the chat. As we get prepared for our second race, we're going to head down to the racetrack, and on the left-hand side of the screen are your qualifiers. DJ Alessandrini heading this one up, and Matt Waldbaum, Steven Nagovin, Steve Luca, Anthony Montello, Jackson Robillard. Peter Zhang is here. He is a time attack competitor. So is Pete Lindbergh, typically runs in Sunday Cup Spec Fit. He will start 13th. And a handful of others. We got Silverstone or Brands Hatch for the UK from Brent. I like that idea. Spa in Belgium by Livid Potatoes. Love that name. Or it's Livid Potatoes, not Livid Potatoes. His potatoes are upset. Button Willow, says Ed Harris.
Cool.
Oh. Or Monza. Monza in Italy would be a fun one, that is for sure.
I think Spa, just looking at photos, I would love to see it.
Spa's a pretty awesome racetrack as we go green for our second heat race now. Great start by Anthony Montello. That's that red and silver car up the middle of your screen. Matt Waldbaum is the one that gets away clear in the first corner.
Rocketed out of there.
He sure did. He's gone. And this fourth place battle is going to be the feisty one all the way down to the next right-hander. We're going to be 3 wide here, Sean. Ugh.
Oh, ho, ho. Yeah, this is interesting.
Into the right-hander now. I think it's Jackson Robillard on the inside. Yes, that's the purple and orange Win livery car. Kevin Zoo's in the mix. So is Thomas Langui in the number 18. That's going to be a dive up the inside. Tight quarters here. Not a lot of room to race. Whoa, trouble. There's one car hard in the fence. Didn't catch who that was, but that was definitely a big impact. It was Ito Waxman that got in the wall. And he's got big-time damage. You can see the car wiggling. It's not happy.
Material these cars' bodies are made of?
Mostly carbon fiber and fiberglass, I believe.
Fiberglass? Yeah. I wonder, does iRacing get that specific where the damage you could see kind of the fiber?
On the new damage model cars, it does. The older damage model, not quite that level of granularity. This car is still on the old damage model, as I understand. But the new cars, the parts will actually flex and break depending on the actual stiffness of the real material. You see Pete Lindbergh, he just had an issue going down the hill.
Oh!
So Pete Lindbergh, trouble for him, and that will be the end of his night, at least the first part of it. Matt Waldbaum still leads over Steve Luca and DJ Alessandrini here, Sean. So lap 1, and one of our Grid Life iRacer juggernauts is not yet leading the race, which is perhaps a bit of a surprise. Here's a battle.
Alessandrini's inspiration was for his livery. It looks like he drove through a Tinker Tape parade or something.
Or like a party store, like drove through the front door of a party store and got all the streamers on it or something.
Yeah.
But running third right now behind Steve Luca, Matt Waldbaum. A couple battles were formulated around the racetrack. Kevin Zhu is leading one. There's Thomas Langui behind him. That's that yellow car that you're seeing. And Langui closes in the braking zone here. Zhu a little bit uncertain. You don't really want to get up on top of the curbs. These cars are so low, Sean, that if you get up on the curbing, you're just going to skate along the curb like a skateboard. And you want all 4 tires on the ground as much as you can.
Idea.
A couple more track recommendations for GRIDLIFE. Interlagos, which is in Brazil. Hockenheim in Germany. Waterford Hills, which is in Michigan, I think. That's a Ryan Christoph home track, as I understand. He goes there a ton.
Yeah, I was. A lot of these suggestions were in Germany or Belgium, and it got me thinking, I wonder which country has the most racetracks. Now, my first Google result was Australia, but it was including horse racetracks. So I then abandoned it because I felt like I wasn't paying attention anymore. But
No, you should dive into that. I think that's an interesting question. I mean, racetrack can be a lot of things, right? It can be oval tracks, it can be road courses. I think that's a tough question to answer, but
a lot of variables in that question.
Yeah, for sure. But we got a battle for second heating up here. Steve Luca and DJ Alessandrini running nose to tail here as they head under the bridge. These cars are also what I would call twitchy, Sean. They're kind of deadly if you step over the limit a little too far. But until you get to that point, they are a lot of fun. DJ is closing on that front duo, so this is going to get spicy for this lead. A lot of drafting happening here as well, tucking in behind that lead car to let their car do the work of pushing the air out of the way. Dewey's here. He says...
Did we get people to prep here?
Yes.
Did we get people at about a week's notice?
They had about a week and a half, yeah, to get prepped for this. But,
Did you say Dewey was here?
Dewey is in the chat, and he suggested that we go to Tsukuba, which is in Japan. Oh, that was a tight battle for second place, and DJ almost chucked it all away right there. Jump back to the battle for fourth. There's Jackson Robillard, Anthony Montello fighting on the uphill portion. And back to second because I think DJ is knocking on this door and getting ready to knock it down at this point. Steve Luca holding them up just a bit on the run down the mountain.
Me and Luca, just seeing that in your rear view, it's hard to focus on what's in front of you.
I actually see a little bit of damage here if I circle it on screen. This whole area is actually crooked, which is not supposed to be. So he's definitely gotten run into, and there's a little bit of damage on DJ's front right corner. So I think these two have had it coming together. And here comes Alessandrini with a big run.
Wow. He's going for it.
Side by side now. They're going to be locked together here in this fierce battle all the way until the chase. Luca's got the inside now, but he can't outbrake Alessandrini. Lock up there. Oh, man, that was dicey.
I watched these, Kyle, and I just realized I'm not breathing.
Have a look at this.
That's like 10 seconds later.
Watch this. Lock up into the corner, DJ. And then DJ almost crashes here. You see the big bobble he has at corner exit. That was a wild one. You're not breathing. Think about the drivers behind the wheel.
Yeah, DJ can hold his breath for 10 minutes.
Oh, Kevin Zhu, trouble for him in the final corner. See how he got around. Whoa. Go back a little farther here and pick this up.
He just kind of hit it too hard in the corner and spun out.
Yeah, he was already sideways from the middle of it.
Interesting. Yeah.
Got to the curb, but then it was game over.
Yeah, just snake right by him. Noticing the thing about DJ's livery, he just knows how to get the camera's attention.
He'll do that regardless. If he's driving a dirty brown car, the camera will still end on him somehow because he's battling for the lead here with Matt Waldbaum, who is feeling a lot of pressure. Look at the speed they're doing over the crest of the hill here.
Really dumb question. I don't see their speed. How do you know what speed?
I have a cheat sheet on. I got a timing screen that I'm cheating off of. But they're just visually going fast, and that's all that matters at this point. Down the mountain, inches away from the wall.
This is amazing.
And this is the battle for the top spot. And Sean, next time by, we're going to see the flagman waving the white flag because it will be the final lap of our second heat race.
Oh, Brent in YouTube, good reminder. He's saying that Supercar is going to race here first weekend of December. So set your calendars because that'll be a lot of fun to watch, especially since we've just been here virtually.
Yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. V8 Supercars, a lot of fun to watch. Alessandrini goes to the lead.
Oh, we did it!
Man, that all happened so fast. But here's a look at it. Here's a replay. Just got alongside on the run down to the chase and then just braked a little bit later. And right here, he was able to squeeze ahead and take the top spot.
Too easy, mate.
Too easy.
Too easy.
Front three all together. White flag waved from the flag stand one more time.
These guys are tight.
This is a great battle here, these front three. We knew this was going to be a lot of fun. And wait till we get to the feature race, the 20-minute feature, where we'll have all the top competitors on top of each other. Matt Waldbaum's coming back on DJ, trying to build the run here, but he loses the nose. Can't quite turn the car into the corner.
Away.
And DJ's going to squeeze away.
Got to say, you know, race after race, it seems to not matter the car or the track. DJ is just, he's like the ice man.
He actually used to race, or not race, but he used to play video games professionally. He was a professional esports player and lived in a house with other esports players. So it's perhaps unsurprising that he's been able to dial in whatever game he plays. He's very competitive also, and it's hard to play games with him sometimes because he's so good. But in an environment like this where it's highly competitive, he thrives. So last time down the Conrad Straight. And here's Thomas Langui and Peter Zhang. Peter Zhang is in the blue and green car here. Oh, big slide from Langui ahead of him. Smelling blood in the water, perhaps, from Peter Zhang.
It's that rainbow kind of oil slick GRIDLIFE decal that Langui had on that he had on the side of his car. It looked really cool.
I think he's got a similar livery to what Val DiPietro had in the other heat race. So running well here. There it is. And leaders coming now to the final corner. Alessandrini, Waldbaum, Luca, nose to tail. 1, 2, 3. Checkered flag. Alessandrini gets it. Waldbaum second. Steve Luca in third. Great three-way battle for the top spot there.
Did we even see DJ making any kind of mistake?
We saw him bobble. We saw him get loose a little bit, but nothing catastrophic. And the last couple drivers coming down the mountain, these cars have seen better days.
Oh, yeah. That looks like an old... That Pepsi can looks like it's 30 years old and it's thrown in the woods. You find it on a hike.
Oh, trouble. That's like when Chris does the can stomp in the office.
Yeah.
That car is a little worse for wear. But checkered flag on heat number 2. Alessandrini, Waldbaum, Luca, Robillard, and Montello are your top 5. And everybody from Trevor Underwood and up will qualify for our main race here in just a little while. So next up, we actually might be skipping the last chance qualifier because we didn't have more than 40 entries. We're going to see what the simulator decides to do here, Sean. So we'll have a minute to see what the next step is here. Typically we'd have a last chance qualifier, but we might just advance straight to the main race.
It's great. You know, I'm looking back at the chat now, and I'm disappointed nobody found that answer of which country has the most road courses.
Yeah, we should send everyone else on that to go find out, or at least if they know, tell us what country has the most racetracks in it, or to be more specific, road courses.
It's not the easiest thing to find.
Brian Highcotter in the chat says that these cars look like so much fun still. They were one of his favorites in iRacing back about 10 years ago. If you haven't tried them lately and you do have iRacing, you really should give it a go because they have changed a lot. There is also, we've got some iRacing codes. We should do a giveaway at the end of this live stream. What do you think, Sean? We should give away a free iRacing subscription for 3 months.
iRacing was very, very nice and gave us a good amount of 3-month subscriptions to iRacing. So if there's, I just wondered if there would be people watching this that didn't already have it.
So I think what I should do right now is, this is going to be our feature race in just a minute here. I'm going to ask the chat, is there anybody here that does not have iRacing that would like to give it a go? We have 3 months.
Yeah, give it a go.
We have 3 months free codes that I can give away. I'm going to choose one person of the group here that would like to give it a try. And if indeed there are people
if you're
out
smart, you're just going to say, me, and then give it to your brothers.
Yeah, if you already have iRacing, you can't use those codes. So you have to be a new iRacing user. It will not work if you already have iRacing. And I don't know if Levi Turner is saying yes, he wants one, or yes to something else. So we'll check back in. Well, Livid Potatoes.
Livid Potatoes.
He wants to give it a go. So
that screen name alone deserves a prize.
All right, well, Livid Potatoes might be the one. Green flag in the air, 20 minutes on the board. Oh, big crash at the start. Lots of trouble.
No.
Oh, there's going to be a pile up in the background. Oh, boy.
Oh, Cheez-Its, no!
Oh, the Cheez-It car's upside down.
What happened to everybody?
Oh, boy. There's carnage on the front straight. Meanwhile, up front, Austin Cobb, Alessandrini get away clean. Ryan Christoph is side by side with Steve Luca. That's for 5th.
How many cars made it out of there?
A lot of them, but not all of them, that's for sure.
Well, I could have said that, Kyle.
Austin Cobb leads the way. Across the mountain for the first time. There's Steve Luca right to the back of Christoph. That is really dicey.
They looked like they were flat-toeing each other. They were so close.
Big lift there from Luca. I don't think he felt confident being that close. Now down the mountain. Look at this shot. Just falling off a cliff.
That's where I want to be. Spectator-wise, right there.
Absolutely. Trouble for Peter Zhang. Oh, he's on the mountain and in trouble. And all those competitors driving right by.
Right. Not a lot of room to re-enter blindly.
No, got to have a nice, safe rejoin so you'll make Adam Jabay happy. That's not going to make Adam Jabay happy.
Somebody recycle that can of Pepsi.
Oh, that was Peter Gigliotti, I believe. Oh, man, this was a horrible crash. Holy cow. Here's a replay of it again. Watch this.
No!
Oh, man.
Makes a better skateboarder than a race car driver.
Yeah, I've seen people have better days than that. Steve Luca, trouble for him. He was one of our front runners. Let's see what happened through the chase. Was there contact perhaps with Ryan Christoph maybe, or from Jackson Robillard? No, just got in there too hot. Too much speed, Sean. That's not going to do it. He'll have to give another go. Meanwhile, up front, the 2 leaders separated by 0.3 of a second, and Matt Waldbaum is right behind Marc-Antoine Blaise. This is a battle for 3rd.
In the chat, that is, now people are saying, man, I've got my real car to repair, or do I want to race fake cars? That's how good iRacing is.
Waldbaum chases Marc-Antoine Blaise inches from that wall. I mean, that is, it takes commitment to do that and not run into it. This is one of those racetracks. This is the only track in iRacing that I can't drive because it requires so much commitment. You got to see a big lift from Matt Waldbaum there. Had to get out of the throttle because he was understeering towards the wall. But you just have to be brave. It takes a lot of that.
This section, you've got to be thinking 3 turns ahead, right? So even the one you're going by, your mind isn't there anymore.
Yeah, and I think that the biggest challenge is with this particular section is when you're heading down the hill, the track falls away from you, so your steering input doesn't really register very quickly because you don't have any weight on the front of the car. So you have to sort of turn in at the fence, turn in towards the wall, and then the lack of grip will make sure that you just miss it. It's really a chaotic
it's
experience.
Downhill, yeah? So are they keeping momentum, or you think they're on throttle, or how are you taking that section of turns?
You spend a lot of it coasting, mostly, but you do kind of throttle up in the in-between sections.
I would do a ride-along. I would not drive it.
There's a famous video from here with NASCAR announcer at the time. It was Darrell Waltrip, and he rode along in the passenger seat of a V8 supercar. And
I think I saw this.
Yeah, and I was actually talking with Calvin Fish a couple weeks ago about, because Calvin was there when this all happened, and he said that Darrell was actually mad after because of how crazy the experience was. He was upset that everyone had made him do that because it was so scary, which is crazy that a race car, Darrell was a race car driver for decades, that he could be afraid of something. Pretty wild. Here's a battle for the lead. On board with the leader, Austin Cobb.
Thinking about your story, Kyle, probably the reason that driver was so concerned is because he's a race car driver, not used to being a passenger.
Well, that's probably true. When you're not in control, I'm sure that could be disorienting.
They're so close, Kyle.
So close. Alessandrini pushing the issue here. A lot of wheel work happening here.
It's so scary. There's nothing above you or around you. You feel so exposed.
So the other thing is that I believe that both Austin Cobb and DJ Alessandrini are in virtual reality. So they're going to have the three-dimensional space to kind of know where their car is, which gives you an advantage at a place like this where you really need to be able to sense the corners of your car. Here comes Alessandrini. He's going to have a run for the lead here. Here he goes.
Dang, late braking.
Gets it done. He's a little wide. Gets on the grass. Here comes Austin.
Oh, wow. Right back at him.
Now on driver's right. DJ's got the preferred line here, but can Austin outbrake him? No, he cannot. He's going to cross him over. No, he can't. Alessandrini to the lead. Battles behind. Here's Pendergast and Kevin Zhu. This is for 13th place. Last corner for battle for 13th. Oh, that's a big jump on the curb for Pendergast. You don't really want to climb on top of him because you'll bottom out, as we talked about earlier. Here comes Kevin Zhu to the inside. It's it done. Brian Lyons and Roger Romero for 17th place having a bit of a scrap. And Eric Dalla-Riva in the 74. That's the black car chasing David Schwartz, the Taco Bell liveried machine. Love these tight shots, too. It really gives you a sense of how narrow everything is up here.
Yeah, I'm just at a loss for words as I look at how intense this is.
Down the mountain again.
This is good perspective, though, because I haven't... That's such a tight turn right there.
It's called the Dipper. It really is a tight corner. All of these are tight corners, but you just got a lot of grip to work with. Oh, contact there. Schwartz gets rear-ended and bounces off the fence. Here's another look at it. I think this is just a miscalculation here. Two drivers getting together and up on top for a moment, and then comes back across the racetrack and slams the concrete with the right side of the car. Kind of a double whammy there.
We were talking about the... Oh, I'm sorry.
For the lead here, Sean. This is going to be dicey. Again, DJ holds off Austin Cobb, but that was a valiant effort there.
I was going to say, with the virtual reality you were talking about that DJ's using and perhaps for the drivers, the one thing I had to think in an open cockpit vehicle like this is, like, you can't simulate that wind that you feel. If you turn your head a little bit, like your head gets brushed left and right. It's such an added factor to this race.
Yeah, that'd be a really cool thing to add in the future, is force feedback neck motion. Which could probably go wrong in a number of ways, I'd bet. But here's Matt Waldbach running in third, Marc-Antoine Blaise in fourth.
DJ, why do you need a neck brace?
I bet you if they had it, DJ would use it. Although DJ is one of those guys that's like, he's so ingrained in going fast that he is willing to take a realism deficit to be fast. So an example would be DJ doesn't always utilize the clutch pedal in a race car. Even if you would use the clutch in that car, he will find a way to shift without it just to save a 1/10 of a second.
That's interesting. Somebody, Raging Croc in the chat is saying there are fans you can get, not just the speed. So I guess you wouldn't need actuators in your helmet. You could just have some kind of crazy, strong fan blowing in your face.
Actually, now that he reminded me of that, I do know that there is actually like a DIY install guide on how to make fans spool up based on your speed in the sim.
Cobb passing DJ.
Again, a battle for the lead.
Oh.
It's not working, though. He's got it switched sides of the racetrack. That's exactly how you do it. Here he comes. Not quite. Now, he's got to do that again, but he's got to get on the left of Alessandrini for this last corner. That's the critical spot. Oh, DJ slips. Here comes Cobb.
Did. How did DJ pull out from that? Oh, my gosh.
Oh, this is now we got a third horse in the race. Matt Waldbaum. He's teammates with Austin Cobb, so that's going to help Austin a lot. Those two will work together. Looks like car slipping in the background. I think that's Thomas Langui, who we saw. He's a lap down. But a 3-horse race for first place, and the second and third place cars are going to help each other out. A big miss there from Austin Cobb again, going the long way around.
Pulls away.
So move Matt Waldbaum into second.
Power.
Yeah, it's just all about nailing the corner. See, DJ misses it there. Big miss for Alessandrini. Here's Waldbaum with a really good run, but again, nowhere to go with it. Not on the mountain.
Yeah, all he can do is try and stay as close as he can until he has those opportunities later down the track.
Here we go. Down the mountain again. And here's Marc-Antoine Blaise from 4th in the mix.
Oh, they are so tight.
Now the slipstream, the draft, that's going to help Waldbaum here. He should get a really good run and maybe some help from his teammate. Now, Cobb fell off a little bit behind. But Matt Waldbaum's going to have a huge run here. What's he going to do with it?
Closing, here he goes.
Driver's right. You want to be on the left here, but he might be able to make this pass complete by the time he gets to the corner. DJ's going to try to outbrake him again, and he does.
Man.
Now the teammates battling for second.
This is great to see. These two guys working on DJ.
Cobb goes down the inside, battling with his teammate. You don't want to let DJ get away, though, and every minute that they spend next side by side, they're going to lose ground to Alessandrini. Got to make up. Here comes Marc-Antoine Blaise. They've sorted it out now. Cobb back to second place.
Kyle, is there a win or a deficiency in your speed if you're side by side in that way?
There can be, yes. So what will actually happen is the lead car, I can actually show this to you, the lead car will actually push air up and out to the side. And if there's another car here with a wing, it'll actually dump the air onto the wing of the car that you're next to. So it will slow you both down because you're both dumping air onto the rear wings of the driver next to you.
Right.
So it's just going to add drag.
Like pressing on the scale. Yeah.
Right. And on top of that, anytime you're side by side, you can't take the ideal line through a corner because you can only use half the track.
Mm-hmm.
So with that one corner they spent side by side, Alessandrini was able to gain a half a second. So we'll revisit this battle when it gets spicy again. Here's the one for 14th. That's Ryan Dunham in the Oreo car, Anthony Montello in the red and silver.
Everyone with my favorite snacks.
All sorts of snack cars here tonight. Cheez-Its and Oreos and...
Oh, this gives new name to Snack Battle.
Oh, yeah, there
Usually
you go.
That's something we do in IRL with like chili and slow cookers, but we could have a Snack Battle race.
Sure could. Brian Lyons has found his way turned around.
You're doing that the American way, mate. You got to turn around and do it the Aussie way.
Sliding a spin for Brian Lyons. He's back rolling. So Austin Cobb is closing on Alessandrini, and if you're right on board with DJ, you'll notice way up ahead there is actually some lap traffic. There are cars that are a lap down that could potentially throw a wrinkle into this race with only 5 minutes remaining. So still a 4-horse race up front. Other battles around the racetrack will take you to them if they get more exciting, but the front battle is where all the action is at the moment. We'll shift backwards briefly. Here's Ryan Christoph and Jackson Robillard.
10 seconds back from Alessandrini.
Yeah, so they're having a battle a long ways back. Here comes Robillard out to driver's right. And he will go by Christoph in turn number 2. And mark that pass complete for now. Peter Zhang and Brian Lyons. This is for 17th. Zhang in the Not Fast Motorsports blue and green car, the 33. Brian Lyons just behind. That car is all torn up.
Side draft thing. Raging Croc in the chat is saying that side draft is only modeled for certain cars.
Yes.
NASCAR specifically. So because of that, side by side may actually speed you up in a straight line.
Yeah,
in this game.
Yeah, the effect is pretty noticeable on the stock cars in particular. As we go back up to the front, because here's Austin Cobb. And this is going to be another challenge for the lead here, Sean. Here he comes.
These turns, his last couple turns.
Side by side into a chase.
The ground shakes.
DJ's in a little hot, climbs the curb.
Oh, he's going for it. I feel like, oh.
Man, so close. He's so close. He's just got to finish it off and needs a little bit of luck to do it.
Just thinking about Top Gun, it's like Mavericks being chased by a couple MiGs.
No missiles to use in this instance, though.
Too close for missiles.
Yeah, this is guns out for sure. Yeah, I'm not sure using a missile at 10 feet of range is an advised military maneuver.
That's a Leroy Jenkins move.
DJ a little wide on turn 2. Here comes Austin Cobb with another big run. I thought DJ was better climbing the hill here, but Austin is actually reeling him in.
Seems to muscle this car around.
Just got to be really aggressive with it. They respond well to being kind of thrown around. And they'll settle in and grip up if you're brave enough to chuck them in aggressively.
The engine in these things?
The engine is a
motorcycle engine?
Essentially, yes. Except they make a lot more power than that. They're based off of a 1.3 liter. And I think there was some, I was actually looking this up before. And
you know everything.
well, I don't know everything. I was looking it up because I didn't know. The engine is an RPE 2.7 liter. It's based on the 1.3 liter inline 4 produced by Suzuki for their Hayabusa motorcycle. So there you go.
It's a Hayabusa. It's over 1,300 cc's. Burnouts.
Austin got him. Austin passed him. Austin got the race lead. And here comes DJ now back to the inside. Contact. DJ's going to get turned. Oh, into the gravel for DJ Alessandrini. Here's how it happened. Just gets hit from behind and turned around backwards by Matt Walbaum. Obviously not intentional there, but that's what ended up happening. And with that, the white flag comes out here, Sean, the final lap.
That pass had so much finesse, but then it all kind of went down after that.
Yeah, so Austin Cobb is now your leader by 1.2 seconds. Marc-Antoine Blaise trying to do anything he can to reel him in. He was running 4th when all that happened and was able to squeeze by and take 2nd. So now Austin Cobb, with that pass done, Sean. He's going to be home free, provided that he doesn't put it in the fence. Here's a battle for fourth now. Matt Waldbaum, Jackson Robillard. It's a good run here for Jackson. Not a place to go, though. Jackson, in the past, has run in the Global MX5 Cup Series and has a lot of real-world racing experience, and is going to have to apply it here to get by Waldbaum. He's got damage. The driver head has damage from the contact with Alessandrini. So this is going to come down to the last few corners, I think.
I'm mesmerized by this section of this track where I'm watching. I don't know what to say.
It is really a wild experience. Last time through Forest Elbow for Jackson Robillard. Up front, though, Austin Cobb has a 1.5 second lead. That car behind is not for position. That is a lap down car. And Waldbaum and Robillard are going to trade spots here. Here goes Robillard down the inside.
Oh.
As Austin Cobb comes through the final corner, this time through, and in a wild second to last lap pass and a carnage behind him, Austin Cobb is going to win the Tuesday Fun Run with the Radical SR8 at Bathurst. Marc-Antoine Blaise is second, and DJ Alessandrini, through all that, will still come home in third. Not quite. He didn't even finish. Or did he? No, I think he did. He did make it to the start-finish line. It's really early on the exit of the corner. Steve Luca, 8th. Alex Arteat, Drew Cleaver, 9th and 10th. And the rest of the field now coming back to the checkers. Here's a battle, Peter Zhang and David Schwartz. Last run down the Conrad Straight for this group. But for Austin Cobb, that was a wild pass there, Sean, and he had his teammate there with him.
Pass. I'd love to see that again.
Yeah, we'll go back and look at it for sure. As soon as these guys show that they're not going to trade positions, and I don't think they are, so we're going to check back.
That pass and that whole exchange was a lot happening at once. Definitely needs a deconstruction.
So let's go back at previous lap, and let's see if we can find. Here it is. So DJ actually slips, and that's what brings up Austin Cobb and actually completes the pass. Then DJ sweeps over. Then DJ goes back to the right. And did he crowd? No, I think that's a tough one.
I think that was unexpected that he went so far to the right.
I think that probably caught Waldbaum off guard too, but there's the slip from Alessandrini. Just one. That's all it takes. And Waldbaum is sort of there.
He's holding his line.
Yeah, that's a tricky one for me, but either way, I don't think it was what either of them wanted to do. It certainly did not turn out well for either of them. All right, checkered flag is out and complete. Here's a look at your race results. Austin Cobb is the one that gets it done. Marc-Antoine Blaise is in second. Alessandrini, Jackson Robillard, Matt Waldbaum. Sean, that was a fun one. Bathurst. This is a crazy, stupid racetrack, and I love it.
I'm making the goal. I want to see this.
I think we should go as a team. I think we should all go at a GRIDLIFE festival someday. I think that'd be a great place to have it. Marc-Antoine Blaise, great run. Ryan Christoph, 6th place. Fascinating run for him. Steve Luca, Alex Arteat, Drew Cleaver, 2-time attackers, rounding out the rest of the top 10. And see how our newcomers fared tonight. Eric Jensen, 20th. About halfway down the grid. Not bad for a first time out. Darian Taggart down in 30th. These are all the drivers that crashed out from 24th on back. So only about half the drivers ended up finishing. But that's the toughness of the mountain, Sean. It'll get you. All right, with that all done, there's another reminder to head over to shop.grid.life and check out all the new stuff that is on sale now, and it will be on sale on Friday.
No, not on sale.
Not on sale. It will be on sale. It's on sale because it's being sold, but it's not on sale.
Can we plug the ugliest race ever?
Okay, so let's do that now. So on December 14th, which is a Tuesday, we're going to have our Ugly Sweater Contest race, which is going to be at the Irwindale Figure 8 with the jump using the 1987 stock cars. The goal is to design the ugliest sweater race car that you can and race it on Tuesday night on December 14th. There'll be some more information and some more details on how you can enter and be a part of that competition soon. But December 14th, we're going to race ugly sweater race cars in a figure eight, Sean. It's going to be a blast.
Love to encourage people to share their ugly sweater livery to GridLife Official on Instagram. We will probably find a prize, TBD, to reward the ugliest livery we've ever seen that is in the theme of a holiday sweater, but it will be the ugliest racing you've ever seen.
It's going to be a blast. I can't wait. But that's going to do it for us tonight. The Tuesday fun run for GridLife iRacers complete. More of these in the future. These are not really supposed to have a theme. We're also going to get back to our normal sort of league racing in a little while in sort of a thematic note after we get back from PRI and set our sights on the new year. So I'm Kyle Heyer alongside Sean Fenton. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time here on GridLife. Next Tuesday, we're going to be off. It'll be Tuesday the 14th. We'll be back with racing for our ugly sweater racing contest at Irwindale Figure 8 with the 1987 stock cars. We'll see you then.